Good day, AP Environmental Science. So we're going to try this out. This is basically a do's and the don'ts, the good versus the bad on how to do analyzing experimental design free responses. Just going to model what a good free response would look like when we look at experimental designs. So we're going to be comparing the answers from 3 different students and let you guys grade them and see what you think. This is a direct copy from Collegeboard free response, and all of this may be from different resources. So this is not all just for me, just me explaining. Okay. So here is the FRQ. If you want, I would suggest that you pause the video now and read it yourself and then try to answer it. And then as we go through, you could compare yourself to students 1, 2, and 3. But basically, we have a FRQ, pesticides. You might have seen this one before. All right, so pause it now if you want to do it yourself and you want to read through the prompt. Okay, so looking at AI, all we're going to do is state the hypothesis. This is worth 1 point. The key tells us that the hypothesis has to predict a relationship between the product X and minnow health. It also has to indicate specific direction of change for each variable, like an increase in X will result in an increase of minnow mortality. So student 1 says the higher concentrations of the new pesticide product X will result in more mortalities in a given population of minnows. Student 2 says if product X is put in a tank containing minnows, then the minnows will not be able to survive. And then student 3 says if the minnow is affected by the active ingredient in product X, then it will get sick or die. So right now, go ahead and see who you think would earn the point. All right, if you need more time, go ahead and pause the video. I have to kind of go a little fast on these. So student 1 would absolutely earn a point. This response gives a relationship saying that pesticides will result in mortalities of minnows, but it also gives direction saying that higher concentrations of a pesticide will give more mortalities. So they earn a point. Now student 2, they have that beautiful if-then, right? If-then. But unfortunately, they don't earn any points because it does show the relationship that if you put it in there, then the minnows don't survive. But it doesn't indicate a direction by more or less. So when you do hypothesis section, it's going to be best if you indicate not only that you have a relationship, but the direction in which it would go. So they didn't earn any points. And then student 3 is the same thing. They didn't earn any points for the same reason as student 2. So only person who gets the ding, 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 the gold star is going to be the earned point is student 1. All right, looking at A2, the method to test the hypothesis. So the key points here to get you your point is that you are indicating a manipulation of your independent variable, manipulation of the independent variable. Note the method has to include 3 experimental groups, one of which is not exposed to product X. So hopefully when I say the one that is not exposed to product X, you know that's the control group. So let's look at student 1. 4 separate fish tanks will contain 20 minnows. Tank 1 is the control with no pesticides. Tank 2 has a 0.05% concentration of pesticide. Tank 3 will have a 0.1% concentration of pesticide. Tank 4 will have a 0.2% concentration of pesticide. After each day of exposure, the number of minnows dead will be counted and recorded. Exposure should last 30 days. Student 2, fill 3 separate tanks with pond water containing a certain amount of minnows. Be sure that all water and all minnows were received from the same place. The water is kept the same. The amount of sun is kept the same. The amount of water is kept the same. In tank 1, place 0 liters of product X. In tank 2, place 1 liter of product X. In tank 3, place 2 liters of product X. Record the number of dead minnows in each tank after 10 hours for 1 week. Student 3, I would put the same number of minnows into 4 different fish tanks. I would also put the same amount of water in each fish tank. Then I would keep the first fish tank free of all pesticides and vary the concentration of pesticides in the remaining fish tanks. So go ahead, pause the video now. Which one do you think would receive the points? Okay, so student 1 absolutely gets points. They indicated the manipulation of the independent variable which is going to be the amount of pesticides, and they included experimental groups, and they included 3, so 2 through 4. So note that when you went through the earlier sections, like you read that information, you did the Quizlet, that you guys are noticing that groups of 3, it just helps keeps bias and validity of your data. So that's why you need that. You don't just want to expose it to one thing, because I mean it could have been like a fluke thing that happened. So you do sets of 3, so you keep validity of your experiments. I mean, think back to what we've done in class, right? This one also with the 0.05, 0.1, 0.2%. Boy, I'm thinking of that LD50 lab that you guys did a discussion board on and submitted that paper in Unit 8. Absolutely, this is kind of what it's modeling here. Notice that the instructions did not specify the need for those 3, but you do need to do it when you write it. Okay. Student 2, they absolutely got 1 point for the same as student 1, and so did student 3. So all 3 of these guys earned points, gold stars all around. All right. 3, identify the control. You get a point if you tell me the control. So student 1 says tank 1 is the control and contains no pesticides. Student 2 says the control of the experiment is tank 1, and student 3 says the control would be the first fish tank in which normal minnow behavior is observed. So go ahead, pause the video, and determine who got the most points, or who got the points. All right, student 1 absolutely got a point for identifying tank 1 as the control. Remember to always have a control group in addition to your experimental group having 3+ subjects, or 3+ like pots, 3+ tanks, 3+ whatever. So you'll have a benchmark for comparing your test to. Student 2 also earned the point for the same as student 1, and so did student 3. So gold stars all around. If you noticed, if we went back to the previous one, they actually, some of them laid out all of it. Like you could pull out the control and independent variables, it was all there. But if you notice, each person still made it a complete sentence when you answer it. Don't just say the control group is, you know, like don't even, like some people would just put take 1. That's incorrect. You have to put it in a complete sentence. All right, A4, identify the dependent variable. So you have to basically earn an identification that minnow health is the dependent variable. So the dependent variable for student 1 is the number of dead minnows for each tank each day. Student 2, the dependent variable is the number of deceased minnows. And student 3 is the dependent variable is the concentration of pesticide in the water. So go ahead and pause the video, decide who earns the points. All right, student 1, absolutely. Student 1 is on it. They earned a point for correctly identifying the number of dead minnows. Keep in mind that the dependent variable is always going to be the response you are measuring as a result for manipulating or changing the independent variable. And these guys even put for each day, so they were going above and beyond here. But all they want for the dependent variable is, okay, if I have this much pesticide, these are going to be that many dead minnows. So let's look at student number 2. Do they get the credit? Absolutely. The same for student 1. It is the number of deceased minnows. But bless it, student 3, concentration of pesticide. Can you name what the concentration of pesticide would be? Well, hopefully you told me that that's going to be the independent variable. So this student earned no points. They incorrectly identified the independent variable as the dependent variable. So maybe they got the definitions mixed up, or maybe they just don't really know what that is. So don't let this happen to you. Go through it. If you've missed something, let me know, or just check your stuff again, see if you've got it. We're going to do a practice question at the end. So gold stars for student 1, student 2. Student 3 didn't make it. All right, B. Describe the experimental results that would lead you to reject your hypothesis. Notice I'm not telling you to tell me what your results would be, but I'm just asking you what results, if you came up with results, if it was this result, then what would tell you, okay, I would reject my hypothesis, okay? So the key is a point is earned for the correct description of an experimental results that include minnow health measurements that contradict the predictions you had in your hypothesis. So note, if you actually didn't, like, say a correct hypothesis, like maybe you did a crummy job of stating, like you were student 2 and 3 and you didn't actually put that increase or decrease there, you could still at this point like get credit for the way that you're wording this. So as long as you're contradicting the prediction. So let's look at student 1. I would reject my hypothesis if the tank with the most pesticide had the least number of minnow deaths, or that the control tank had the most deaths. Okay. I would reject my hypothesis if more minnows died in tank 1 than in tank 2 and 3. And then student 3 said, in all the tanks that had concentration of pesticides, the fish all acted normally, seemed like fish in the first tank without any pesticide in it. Even the fish in the tank that had the highest concentration of pesticides showed no effects. Okay. Pause, go ahead and decide who gets the points. Okay, let's look at student 1. Student 1 earned 1 point for describing results that would contradict their hypothesis. So absolutely, because they had said higher concentrations would be more deaths, but now they're contradicting that. So that means that, okay, if your control is actually dying more, then that would be rejecting the hypothesis. All right, student 2 says, earn 1 point for describing results that would contradict their hypothesis. Absolutely. And then student 3, they actually earned a point as well for describing the results that would contradict their hypothesis. So also maybe you can see that, at least for me, as I read this, student 1 is a bit more clear than student 3, but yet everyone earned the same point. So clear will be much easier for the reader to grasp it. And if your reader can read it easier, there's going to be more of a chance for you to get those points. So that's about all I have for this slide. If you guys have any questions, please reminder me, email me. I left my Google phone number on one of the previous modules, so if you need anything at all, just let me know, and hopefully this was helpful, and we can do these again if you like them. So hope you guys have a great and fantastic day. You are missed, and have a great one, guys. Bye. Ooh, gold stars for everyone.